my car quarter. Obviously, nobody needs a quarter. It's just because I go to Aldi, you need to either have a bag that you buy from Aldi, like one of those cloth bags, or bring your own, sitting in the car at all times, or you have to have a quarter sitting in your car at all times. 1 second. Okay. Else, uh, when you go in there, you got to grab one of their boxes, which is cool that they let you do that. You know, one of the little boxes that it's not little. They come in various sizes. The cardboard boxes, super cool. Um, you know, the boxes that come with like the broccoli or whatever produce or product that they have to offer. Anyways, back to the main topic of the live. See, I've never had my hair cut by a non-black person. I was just thinking about that because there's a barbershop right here, and I look at that barbershop, does not look black to me. So because it does not look black to me, I'm looking at it. It looks more inviting to all people. It doesn't give that vibe of black people cut hair there. I'm sure that black people cut hair there, obviously, right? Anybody can cut hair anywhere. But I was just happen to be thinking to myself, wow, I've never actually gotten a haircut by anyone outside of my race. Maybe I've got my hair cut by really high yellow people of my race. I was thinking about that. Isn't That's very interesting? The closest I did come though to getting my hair cut by somebody outside my race was when I went to VMI, Virginia Military Institute. Um, so they line you up the first day. They call your company Alpha, Echo, whatever, whatever. Funny story is, I was supposed to be an Echo company, but I ended up marching out with a band company. Because you would think A, B, C, D, E, but apparently it was A, B, C, D, B, D, band company. So I'm actually marching out with a band company. So here I am, first day. They fed you cookies and fried chicken. You're with your parents and you just hee hee ha ha ha. First day of college, hee 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 ha ha ha. And then they take you everybody to the auditorium. They say some cliche stuff about VMI and how amazing it is and how honorable it is and just everything. Oh, by the way, unfortunately, um, a guy from the class under me passed away. So that's very, very bad. I'm not gonna name drop or anything out of respect to his family. But yeah, he was a really good guy, really, really nice fella. So yeah, back to the story. Well, they take you from your parents, they march you down. I'm marching down with the wrong company, and at this time they do by height. So Alpha Company is probably one of the more the most tall people. Then you have India Company, just a weird company down in the middle of the alphabets that's also tall. India was like brought in later on. Um, but when you come to when it excuse me when it and then when it comes to E and A, I mean E and D, Echo and Delta companies, Foxtrot, I'm not sure, but Echo and Delta for sure were supposed to be the shorter companies. So I'm the tallest of my Echo company. These guys are normally like 5'4" men. We're talking about men. Our men are 5'4". So here I am, like 5'11" and a half in the Echo company, and with the size to match it too. Anyway, so here I am in band company, which you can pull from any variety of people. Um, so it was kind of interesting because I it didn't seem like I was in the wrong company because here is a taller guy, but here's an extremely short person. So I was like, I didn't know what was going on. So then I got down there, and they just line you up. You literally a long line. You're supposed to just look straight. You know, I'm not sure they hadn't introduced straining yet, so it wasn't. It hadn't. We hadn't gone through strain night. You just have to look. Just try your best to look very military. Try your best to look very military, or whatever. And then, so yeah, the men, they were just giving all the men the same haircut. In the early 2000s, they would give everybody the same haircut. So they give the men the same haircut, not bald, but basically just 1 inch haircut. Everybody 1 inch. If you had long hair, 1 inch, doesn't matter. They used to give women the same, and they changed it with the argument being that after we're done with the whole process of the rat line or boot camp, for people who don't know what VMI is, when the men, there's a dance at the end of it, right? Like after you've graduated from it, um, in the early part of the following semester, the spring semester. Um, so the argument was that, well, the men, they can grow their hair back and look pretty, somewhat decent. Not true. It takes after, like, literally the dance is like 2 weeks later, so it takes us like at least a month to grow back our hair to something. But I see the argument. I mean, it takes a lot longer to grow 8 inches of hair, 10, 13 inches of hair, and then learn how to put it in the bun. So I get it. The women didn't get that hair back till, I mean, if you cut it all the way, you wouldn't get it back till maybe junior year, second class year. However, the way they will cut it, just cut like a couple of inches off, like maybe like say 3, 4 inches off. That way you got it back the following year. All of it to whatever extent you wanted it. So yeah, that in that process, everybody just going through. However, in the middle of all this chaos, dozens and hundreds of people getting their hair cut, like quick, quick, zuh, 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 zuh. They didn't care about giving you the edge up, the fade. No, that was a privilege. So everyone was just getting the zuh, 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 zuh. In the middle of all of that, somehow all the black people, we all naturally went to the only black person cutting our hair. They only had one black person, a black lady. They only had one black person. It was a black woman, and she would cut it, zip, 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 and then trace it real quick. Trace it. She did trace it for us a little bit, just a little bit. So, like, there was literally a long line of black people just zip, zip. Now we didn't have that privilege to do that. That's not allowed. But somehow we did it. Somehow when it was like your turn, we'd be like, okay, when we waddle over and then turn, getting that line. And then from time to time, I did see one or two black people get pulled and taken somewhere else. No, go there, go there. But I got my hair cut by a black lady. And then after that, it was your job to go down there, make sure you got your hair cut on time. You look presentable in your uniform at all times. For breakfast, roll call, BRC. So after that, I could just go down there and make sure I got my hair cut by the same black lady. Later on, we got a black man in there that was trained up, and then after he trained up, learned, he was there for like good 2 years. Then we got another black man as well. Um, there, dark, real dark. The Jason, he's high yellow. He did a good job, and then we ended up getting another real dark black man like me. Um, and then where the story goes from here is throughout that whole process of being a VMI, I was actually like a habitual line stepper, because when we got out the rat line, boot camp, whatever, these white boys, they would have these giant parts like that with their hair flared over, and they look very handsome and look nice. However, me as a black man, I wasn't allowed to have a part. Like literally, I had to fight to get my 1 inch part like this, just an inch part. But these white dudes would have giant parts coming from the forehead, touching the back of their head. That's a part. I don't care if it's them just parting their hair. That is a part. Part my hair as well. You know. So in the military, yeah, they were like braids and dreadlocks and stuff like that. Cool. But where do we draw the line? The line is drawn at parts. Parts? Is that's where the line is drawn? Like, is that what we're gonna do? And that's what we did. I drew the line at parts. I fought for my inch part, my inch and a half part, and I will push it and have them extend the part sometimes. But like I was doing it. I didn't care, and they took away the parts. They would take it away. They would take it away. They would ban the barbershops from giving me my part and giving other black men their part. And I had to get the part illegally and then encourage other black men to get their part. That way we could get our hairstyles the way we want, a fade. Because the white boys could really style their hair however they want. I only have so many styles. And it wasn't really a big deal because the black man's like this cut is a rat cut. It's really a rat cut. But it became a big deal when the white boys made it a big deal by using that as one of their derogatory, like slander, whatever you want to call it, to pick at black people. They would say that the rat cut is like they'd be like, "Oh, you did you get a haircut? I mean, you can be, you're upperclassman now. You can get another cut now. You don't have to get the rat cut." It's like this is a cut. I always like this is you know. Sorry, I don't grow it like that and flip it like here. And the irony about it is, a lot of these guys who would say these things started balding by junior year. Now, if I was really a demon, I've been like, hey, it's okay to grow all of your hair. And it's funny because if they went to the black barber, the barber could cut their hair in a way where you couldn't tell that you were balding. The traditional white way of cutting your hair will leave you with three strands of hair like this, like Simpsons, and then they'll do the comb over like that. With all that balding, they'll have the comb over, the three thick strands of hair, just like that. But with the black cut, when you bring that down, and depending on where you're balding, right, you could push back your hairline just a little bit and blend it in and fade it up. Fade it up, push maybe this back a little bit, and you could never tell that you were balding. I swear to God, I've seen it so many times. In the black community there, some men, black men were balding. Like one of my good friends I talk to every day, talk to him today. He was balding, but you couldn't tell because of the way they cut it. And and there are a couple of reasons why I honestly, also, moving the conversation along, there are a couple of reasons why I stuck to black barbers. One, the one time I sat down for a white person to cut my hair there, they pulled out a pair of scissors, and I looked at, I said, what are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with that? Like, what is that gonna do for me? When she pulled out those those scissors, I said, I think I have the wrong barber. I'm actually here for Stacy. That's a black lady's name. Let me go sit down. You can go next. Come on, sit down. I'm gonna wait 3 hours for this haircut. Because since we don't have the one black barber, we would wait a long time. The black man would wait. And this lady serviced everybody. She serviced the black men and the black women. She serviced all of us. And that was a big reality check and shock when I came out of that place, because us black people stuck together. Then when I came out here, it was like, dang, black folk don't stick together. We stuck together there. We don't stick together out here. Especially when I started doing landlording, it's black people did not respect me when I like I've gotten better black people now, but in the beginning, some of the people I've rented to had no respect for me. None whatsoever. No respect. It's almost like animosity. However, when I was there, we stuck together because these boys and girls, the white girls, speaking of feminism, were trying to get us out. They were definitely trying to get us out. Um, if I went to another country, I wouldn't mind dating somebody outside my race, no problem. But I definitely know the pain of these white girls and these Asian girls, or other women, how they don't see you. They look way past you. You never existed. You'd be lucky to get a high. So I just say that because I know in my other videos I've talked about password bros, and for people going and finding love, and I don't mind if the girl's whatever race she is, as long as she's nice to you, that's fine. And I've talked about how our women call us the N word and stuff like that, and it's very tiring. It's very very tiring. It's very tiring. It's very very tiring. Um, and I've also talked about how um, even if you were with a black woman, like for me, it is actually important she's not a Democrat, because I don't want to raise our kids with signing off on LGBTQ plus plus. So that's going to be something that is going to be a problem, because no, we're not going to play that game, and the women don't already listen, right? So then if she's already with that agenda, then it's not gonna work out. Like one girl I used to really talk to a lot. We used to mess around a lot, date. We used to date, and she's for that. It's like women are very mean and cutthroat. However, with topics and stuff like this, they don't want to show their true colors, and they'll sign off on stuff like this, thinking it's seemingly hurt, like they're loving everybody, they're just loving. But what you have to understand with signing off and stuff like this, you say you love everybody, but you're actually attacking people who are like heterosexuals, is what it is: man woman, woman man, family. um, I have gay friends. Dang, I sound like one of the people, the white boys. I have black friends. I have gay friends, right? I talk to them. I associate, but they also know where I'm stand, and we're fine with that. However, when it comes to women, yeah, nah, I gotta make sure you Republican, or Republican thinking. Um, I get it. I get all of that, but that's some things. And then when you came to VMI, it didn't matter if you're a Democrat, if you're Republican. It didn't matter. As long as you're black, we all stuck together. Then when it comes to coming out here, it became so like anything. Oh, you don't like popcorn. Now we can't be buddies. Now we can't associate, cooperate. And the reason why this topic is so important is because in past videos I've talked about how you vote with your dollar. You vote with your dollar. So count on when you go to the black barber shop, and then I'm right outside the African food store. I went to Aldi. I bought salmon. I bought chicken. I bought broccoli. I brought some shampoo and razor blade. To trim my armpit hair. I don't like excessive armpit hair. I don't like stuff like that. So, but I'm going to African store to buy my eggs, to buy my milk, to buy my greens. They don't have broccoli, but they got every other greens. They got bitter leaves. Um, they got goat meat and stuff like that in there. They've got fish in there. So I'm going in there to buy what I like, what I essentials. Anything that anything that I can't get out, like excuse me, anything that I can get, whatever they have in there that I need, I get there first. If they don't have it, then I'll get it outside. That's how I operate, because I want my money to go to the hands of the owner of that store, because I know him. He's Igbo. He's black. I know him. Um, because I mean, I already go to Walmart. I already go to Aldi. I already go to Starbucks. I already go to K-pop, Korean barbecue. I already go to sushi places. When is it that I'm gonna actually go to give money to our neighborhood, our community? You know. Outside of that, only other thing I can think of, barbershop, that I can, if one black women can't say weave that they buy and put on their hair all the time. First of all, that's not even black weave, black hair that they put on. Uh, and then second of all, the owners are always these Korean Asian people, so they can't say that. Even though it's black products, you see the black oil, castor oil, all that good stuff. Um, but the owner is not us, so they can't include that. So outside that, the only other place I can think of is me being a landlord, landlording on the side, stuff like that. That when you give, like, you can give me money and it's in black hands, and then I get to vote with it. It's not me sending this car. So yeah, when we were at VMI, that was very interesting how we all knew what was important and essential. We all stuck together. You had your outliers, you know. You had the black girls and the black men who you could tell um wanted to be with white people. I'm open to dating anybody, but I don't necessarily want. And in that dating, I can have the um not distaste, but some level of reservation, you know. So whereas I'm giving my personal self analysis of me, whereas I've been in I've been in arguments with people where I'll bring a white dude to, let's say, organization meeting, and now I'm having a back and forth argument in public, very unprofessional, and at the organization with another member, and I'm the higher ranking person in this organization, and it's like, why is he here? Turns out 5, 6, 7 years later, this man is not marrying a white woman. In my culture, that's like saying spitting on the ground and licking it back up. So it's very interesting. The people who can be very like, oh yeah, black, yeah, can be the main people who love these white folk, who love other people. Then you have me who's like, it's okay to do that if you want. If she's nice to you, if he's nice to you, if he takes care of you, he has genuine love and interest in you, you know, there comes things with it. Like your kids might be confused, your kids might be stuck in this weird thing. But I promise you, their journey is not going to be that terrible because uh, you can't tell me just staying black is the most easy thing to do in this world. In fact, my ex, probably most likely one of the main reasons why she left is because she was like, "Whoo, it is tough being black." I don't know if I want to go through all that. I don't know if I can. Lord, this burden you put up. I mean, this task you put on me is a little too heavy. I may have to leave Buka. I'm gonna have to leave him. I love him. I have to leave though. I have to leave. This is a little too much. And the same things that were going on when she left is still going on. Still going on. So yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna walk in there and grab the things I didn't grab at the other store. Um yeah, so to finish the live, it's not that I want to get my hair cut by by a non-black person. It's very natural and like it's very like I just couldn't see myself getting my hair cut by somebody who wasn't black. I'm not saying that white people can't cut my hair. I see them on TikTok cutting some good fades and stuff like that. That's great. That's great. It's just it's never happened. And now I cut my own hair. I don't do the best job in the world, but over time, or as the years progress, I'll improve. But with time, I'll improve. And you know, getting your hair cut is a part of the self care. So I'll probably return to get my hair cut again and getting just cared for. Maybe get my nails done, get my beard trimmed, and make it look nice. Once I get the beard to connect and everything, just get all that. Yeah, yeah. I'll go back. I'll go back. For sure. If I ever get married, yeah, 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 for sure. And then the other thing too is you gotta tell me, you gotta admit, it's hilarious when somebody pull out a pair of scissors to cut your hair. Absolutely hilarious. So that's why the time I did have opportunity to get my hair cut by somebody who wasn't black, it didn't happen. I was like, hold on, I don't think you know that you cannot cut my hair with what you're trying to cut my hair with. Anyways, let me get out of here. Oh, they go home. Oh, somebody's on. Thank you for being here. I'll talk to you later. Happy Sunday.